The elderly man wanted to train at the gym. Young guys laughed and kicked him out. The man left quietly. Nobody knew he had won Olympic gold 30 years ago. Quote unquote, "Welcome to Honor Stories, where we discover the surprising truths behind quietly lived injustices." Let's uncover the secret behind this story. Powerhouse Fitness Gym in downtown Chicago was one of the city's most popular centers, known for its modern equipment and young clientele. Hundreds of athletes trained there daily. Tuesday morning at 9:30, an elderly man entered the gym. He appeared to be around 75 years old. His white hair, wrinkled face, and old tracksuit caught attention. He carried a small gym bag. Young people were doing their morning workouts at that time. Weightlifters, treadmill runners, those checking poses in mirrored walls, all were fit athletes in their 20s and 30s. The elderly man, Robert "Rocky" Thompson, walked toward the reception desk. 25-year-old muscular trainer Mike sat at the desk. He frowned, looking at the elderly man's appearance. Rocky quietly said he wanted to become a member. Mike was surprised and indicated this place was for young athletes. The elderly man insisted. At that moment, 23-year-old Jake, who was lifting weights, overheard the conversation. He approached, laughing, and started mocking the elderly man with his friend Tyler. "Working out at your age?" they said. "You'll just get in the way here." Other young people had also noticed the situation. Some were smiling, others watching curiously. The gym was completely focused on Rocky. Mike diplomatically suggested other places would be more suitable. Rocky calmly indicated he understood and turned to leave. Jake's mocking voice came from behind. Others laughed too. Rocky left without saying anything. The next day, the gym continued with normal routines. Jake and his friends were training as usual. Mike was handling new memberships at reception. At 10 o'clock, two official-looking men entered. They wore suits and had serious faces. One introduced himself as attorney Stephen Davis. The person next to him was his client's representative. The attorney explained that the gym had been put up for sale and his client wanted to purchase it. Mike and other employees were bewildered. They hadn't heard anything from owner Mr. Patterson. The attorney said they had reached an agreement with Patterson and transfer procedures would be completed within 2 days. When asked who the new owner was, he indicated they would meet soon. That day, the gym was in complete chaos. Employees wondered what would happen. Customers tried to understand the situation. Nobody had clear information. On the third day, a large sign was hung on the gym door, "Continuing to serve under new management." When the gym opened, Mike and other employees waited curiously. They would meet the new owner. At 9:30, the door opened and Rocky entered. This time, he wore a stylish tracksuit carrying files and keys. The gym suddenly fell silent. Mike couldn't believe his eyes. Rocky walked calmly to the reception desk and placed ownership documents on the counter. He introduced himself. The new owner of this gym, Robert Thompson. Everyone was in shock. Especially Jake and Tyler were frozen. How could this be possible? Rocky gathered everyone around him and said he wanted to tell them something. The gym was completely silent. He indicated he really was 75 years old and wanted to work out. But there was something they didn't know. He paused and his eyes sparkled. He revealed that he had won Olympic gold for the United States in boxing at the 1972 Munich Olympics. The gym filled with whispers. Olympic champion? Rocky continued. He explained that back then he was known as Lightning Fist, that he was world champion in the flyweight division. Jake's mouth fell open. Was he really that famous boxer Robert Thompson? Tyler put his hands to his head. What had they done? Rocky continued, speaking calmly. He explained that after retiring, he had coached for years, training hundreds of young athletes. But he indicated he had been very sad lately. He said they had forgotten the spirit of sports. He emphasized that sports wasn't about age, appearance, or status, but about determination, discipline, and respect. He explained that he had really come here to work out, that even at 75, he still tried to maintain his form, but he added that their attitudes had made him very sad. Jake stepped forward and apologized. He admitted they had acted stupidly. Rocky indicated that apologizing wasn't enough, that the gym would operate differently now. He pulled out papers from his files and explained the new rules. The gym would serve all age groups. Members over 65 would be free, and most importantly, nobody would be humiliated because of their age, appearance, or condition. Applause rose. Everyone was standing and applauding Rocky. Mike expressed that they were ashamed of their behavior toward him. Rocky indicated that being ashamed was right, but what mattered was learning from this. He put on his training clothes and went to the punching bag. When he threw his first punch, the bag swung so powerfully that everyone was amazed. He explained with a smile that even though 30 years had passed, the body didn't forget muscle memory. From that day on, the gym completely changed. Rocky came to train every day and taught the young people, not just boxing techniques, but life lessons. He constantly said that working out wasn't just about building muscle, but building character. Jake and Tyler became Rocky's closest students. They learned not just sports techniques from him, but respect and humility. The gym quickly became the city's most respected fitness center. Because there was no age discrimination there, everyone received equal respect. Rocky's story also made it to the media. TV channels and newspapers reported this interesting incident. Headlines like "75-year-old Olympic champion buys gym" were talked about for days. But Rocky never boasted. He said he just wanted to remind people of the true spirit of sports. One day, the gym was completely full. Young people, elderly, children, everyone was training together. Rocky watched this scene with tears in his eyes. He thought this was what sports really was, a place where everyone came together, regardless of age, gender, or status, supporting each other. Mike came to him and said they had learned so much that they didn't know how to thank him. Rocky indicated that the best thanks would be maintaining this attitude. The gym was now a completely different place. While it used to focus only on building muscle, now it focused on building character. Rocky's old Olympic medal sat on his desk. But more valuable than that medal was the respect and love in the young people's eyes. He told his young athletes that sports didn't make them strong, but made them believe they were strong. He emphasized that real strength was using that strength in the right place. Thus, the gym that once rejected him became a center that learned the true meaning of sports under Rocky's leadership. Because real champions are known not just for their medals, but for their character. And sometimes, the most valuable victories are won outside the ring. In our darkest moments, justice still finds a way. Usually in the most unexpected ways. Some people live quietly, but when you learn their stories, they change your life. You may forget the story, but if no one retells it, real heroes are forgotten. Subscribe to Honor Stories, where justice is honored, silent heroes are remembered, and no valuable story is lost.